My next guests are among 10 attorneys general that have sent a letter to the Obama administration calling upon them to rethink their Obamacare mandate and accommodation, a mandate that forces religious employers, as you've just heard from our panel, that forces them to offer free birth control to their employees. The letter reading in part, "We believe that it represents an impermissible violation of the Constitution's First Amendment, virtually unparalleled in American history." Joining me now, the Attorney General of South Carolina, Alan Wilson. And Mr. Attorney General, it's good to have you here. And Greg Abbott, the Attorney General of the state of Texas. Great to have you here as well. Let me start.
Really great to be back.
Let me start, if I may, with you, Alan. The administration says that it is accommodating, not compromising, but accommodating. Do you agree? And does this in any way assuage your concerns?
Well, they put a blonde wig and lipstick on this thing, but it's still a pig. This accommodation is not very accommodating. I was waiting with bated breath this morning to see what type of compromise or accommodation the administration was going to come up with, and I really honestly can't see anything different from what they offered before. I think it's more smoke and mirrors and sleight of the hand.
Greg Abbott?
Couldn't agree more with my fellow Attorney General Alan Wilson. Here in Texas, we call this Enron-style accounting gimmicks that Obama put on this deal, because before Obama took the stage today, religious-based healthcare organizations were required to provide insurance for things like abortions as well as contraceptives. After his appearance today, they're still required to provide that. It's just, the only difference is it went from directly to indirectly. And so the First Amendment freedom of religion rights of religious organizations, and in particular the Catholic Church, remains under assault. And it will be attorneys general who once again stand up and take on this overreaching unconstitutional mandate from Washington, D.C.
Another mandate, and there's much about this that we want to hear about from both of you. But one question that looms large to me, at least, is as the Supreme Court is considering the individual mandate on every American to buy health care insurance, they're watching this president with another mandate. Is this something that the Supreme Court would ignore in its consideration of the individual mandate, or would this have some further effect on their deliberations? Alan, you first, if I may.
Well, I certainly hope the Supreme Court's paying attention, and I certainly hope that this does weigh in on their considerations on the individual mandate that they're going to be hearing later next month. This is egregious. I mean, this mandate is basically punishing religious affiliated employers for actually doing the unthinkable, and that's actually ministering to people outside of their faith while employing people outside of their faith. This is a further overreach by this administration, unlike anything I've seen to this point.
Greg?
Well, the Supreme Court will hear the oral arguments on our challenge to the Obamacare mandate. That oral argument will be in March. The decision will come out in June. And if that decision strikes down Obamacare, then the attorneys general will not need to proceed with litigation concerning the infringement of First Amendment freedom of religion rights. However, if Obamacare is upheld after that oral argument and decision, then I think we, attorneys general, need to seriously consider further litigation against the Obama administration, seeking to have this accommodation stricken down as an impermissible intrusion into religious liberties.
There is about this, it seems to me, and I'm trying to be as dispassionate as I possibly can here, but there does seem to be about this a quality of the president asserting government preemptorily over religious institutions that have a significant role in our society, whether you are religious or not, whether it's Catholic charities, whatever it may be, providing health care through hospitals, in doing good works. To put the federal government in the position of issuing a fiat against a constitutionally protected freedom, in this case religion, it seems poor politics as well as a poor reading of the Constitution. Your thoughts, Alan?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more with what you just said, except for one thing. I don't think they're reading the Constitution. This has never been about the Constitution, and unfortunately, it's not even about, it's not about Catholicism or, Protestantism. It's not against pro-life versus pro-choice. This is about liberty. We're talking about a fundamental liberty here, a fundamental right protected by the Constitution. They're trying to mandate individuals buy health insurance. They're trying to mandate that employers who have a religious ministry violate their own doctrine. This is basically an overreach by the federal government, and this is something that the states have to band together. I'm glad that General Abbott and 8 other AGs have joined together, along with myself, to fight the federal government on this. But this is something that we just cannot stand by and allow to happen.
Greg Abbott, we're out of time. You get the last word.
Well, to expand upon that, it's so important for the audience to understand that this legal action and Obama's overreach has nothing to do with regard to access to health care, has nothing to do with regard to contraception, has everything to do with the fact that religion in this country is being eroded because of the actions of the Obama administration, and now it is threatening the First Amendment itself, and we are guardians of the First Amendment and Constitution, and we will ensure that document is protected.
Attorney General Greg Abbott, Attorney General Alan Wilson. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.